For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching around the world.
You know what that means, boys and girls? Tenemos! Settle!
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
Hey, Rest Friends. You are listening to the Rest Friends podcast. This is going to be our John Cena tributes, our John Cena goodbye, or our recap show after his final match against Gunther on Saturday night's main event. My name is Edie, and I am joined by my wonderful, beautiful 10 out of 10 Rest Friend, Teddy. Rest Friend, how are you?
Best friend, I love you so much. I am doing good. It is very early in the morning. Well, not that early, right? People would be like, it's not that early. It's about to be 9 in the morning, but we both went to sleep late.
I know.
So I know we both wish we were still sleeping.
It's definitely that type of day. And like you feel it in the morning. It's like cold in my room. And I'm just like, oh, I just want to be a little warm. And it's the beginning of the week. Literally just the beginning of the week.
Well, either way, thanks for being here with me, Rest Friend, too.
Rest Friend, I wouldn't want to be here with anybody else. TBH.
Likewise.
TBH. Love
no,
you.
seriously.
Rest Friend, did you watch the pre-show at all? Like the build-up to Saturday night's main event?
I actually did not. I actually only watched John Cena's match.
Okay, let me tell you what happened in the pre-show. So you had a panel of people, and it was like Big E, Sami Zayn, and Rosenberg. And there's another man there whose name I don't know, and I totally forgot to look up. I'm so sorry, sir. But he's usually at the pre-shows, and he is a voice that you hear in WWE. So I'm so sorry to him, but he was there too. And they were kind of just replaying like old footage of John Cena, some that I had never seen, which I really got a kick out of. So it was John Cena showing his VHS tapes when like he first started wrestling, and he was like in his room, like looking like the Doctor of Thugonomics, and just kind of talking about all the tapes that he would have. And he said that he would spend half his money on wrestling boots and the other half on tapes. And while he was going through those tapes, there was just like so many shelves, and they had pieces of tape to label them. Some of them were Ted DiBiase, Randy Savage, and Mr. Perfect. And he said he like loved Mr. Perfect. He watched those over and over again. And there was one VHS that I popped because it said Regal on it. And I was like, oh my God, Mr. William Regal, he's watching his tapes. So I just thought that was really, really cool. But they also had like, I don't know, people talking about kind of what John Cena taught them, right? And I believe it was Drew McIntyre that was saying that Cena had told him, like, you should be able to know who you are in a sentence. Like, whenever someone describes who you are, they should have that sentence down. And he said that eventually John Cena had gotten it down so well that now you can just describe him in one word. It would be great if I remembered what that word was. But oh man, but it was just like that. I don't know, it was so nice to see everybody like finally giving him his flowers, because forever people gave Cena shit for so long. So I was just glad that people were just giving their good experiences. Becky, Drew, Cody, and Punk were also talking about like the advice that Cena had given him. And John also talked about how he incorporated jerseys into his look, and how that was such an easy thing to make him either the good guy or the bad guy. Because, example, if he was coming to Chicago, he would wear like a Packers jersey, you know? So to get people to boo him. And then if you wanted to get cheered, of course, you wear the Bears jersey. And I'm like, oh, that's like things that I guess that you don't think about, but to him made absolute sense. And that's an easy way of getting people to either boo you or cheer for you. And then
that is so true.
He talked, R-Truth was also talking about him. And he was like, he wrote a special song for him, you know, when he comes out and he's like, people over there, what's up? But he changed the lyrics. So he was like, if you love John Cena, say what's up. You know, it was so cute, Rest Friend. I do recommend that you go and find it because he made
I will.
the whole entrance was for Cena, but people also talked about or Cena also talked about in his jerseys that he would have, his t-shirts, that they were kind of like an Easter egg. You were always able to find something from the city that they were in or something special that he had done on the sleeve or even the colors that represented all that stuff. And then Trish Stratus comes up and she's wearing a John Cena, the last time is now baseball cap. And I was like, oh my God, I remember when they tagged teamed, when they had their mixed tag team matches and he
Mhm.
would bring her out when like he was in Canada. Just good stuff, Russ friend. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah. Was that like one of your favorite times, like seeing Trish and John Cena
Russ friend, that
work
did take me
together?
did take me back. I had the flashback. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, I remember being a little girl and they were my favorite. And even anytime he tagged with a woman, I was all about it. When he tagged with
Yeah.
Maria, 10 out of 10 during Christmas time.
Yes. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite times as well.
And then Michael Cole also just talked about, Cena being the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And it was just awesome. They were also showing all of the Make-A-Wish stuff that he did. And that was
Hmm.
like, that was so sad, Russ friend, because
Oh.
he was just literally such a great guy to all of these kids. And then they were even showing how some kids like weren't able to have their wish be granted by John, and John still, I think this was like during the pandemic, and John still made a video for them, and
Hmm.
they still gave the kids like packages with John Cena merch and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy that he's had like that much popularity outside of like WWE. Like I don't know, it's so crazy to me.
No, no, I know it is very, very crazy. I think it's very cool to see. I mean, the impact that John Cena has made, like you said, not only in WWE, but outside of it. Like, it's
Mhm.
so insane to even think back to that. Watching all the promotion, all the promo that they were doing for John Cena's last match, like,
Mhm.
you can't, as a wrestling fan, you can't help but think of all of that outside everything he's done outside of WWE. Because when I know you, rest friend, as a wrestling fan, and when you're around your family members or like just friends that don't watch wrestling, but when they see something John Cena related, they think of you or they tell you, right?
Mhm.
I feel like that's probably the story for every wrestling fan. Like they see John Cena, someone sees John Cena, and they think of them.
That's crazy. Ugh, it's amazing. But okay, let's get into talking about his last official match. This was the main event of Saturday night's main event. And
Hmm.
I also watched the matches that were leading up to it, but we'll talk about those some other time. But shout out to the NXT talent because I think they really, really did a great job. Sol Ruka and Bailey, fantastic. I think Bailey really let Soul shine. But main event time and the whole show, right, is them giving just their best talks about John Cena. Stephanie McMahon was out there, like helping with not commentary, but just in between segments. She
Uh
was like
huh.
the Renee Paquette, and I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know
Oh,
how to feel about that, but
yeah.
it is what it is. And
Yeah.
Sami Zayn was ringside with his kid and he had like the John Cena baseball cap. Eve
Hmm.
Torres was also there. And I'm like, girl, I haven't
Yeah.
seen you in forever.
Yeah. And looking the same, first of all.
Yes, she has not aged. She looks beautiful. And then Trish was also there. Then I saw Kevin Owens and I was like, whoa, whoa, what's happening here? Kevin Owens. And there was, oh man, there was somebody else there. Elias too. And I'm like,
um,
man, throwbacks to when he was just
Kurt
beefing.
Angle. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just so nice to see like people who were really friends of John
Yeah.
be ringside. So that was nice. And Gunther coming out. Okay, I guess let me rewind because Rest Friend, do you already have Peacock or what did you watch this on?
Yes. Peacock.
Okay, so I didn't have Peacock. So
Oh.
so I was watching the pre-show on YouTube and then the show starts, right? And I'm like, okay, where do I have to go to find the actual show? And
Hmm.
I Googled it and it was like Amazon Prime. And I was like, Amazon Prime. All right, here I go, Amazon Prime. And I'm looking for Saturday night's main event. nothing. So I was like, what the heck? I go back on my phone and I see that it's like exclusively on Peacock. And I was like, all right, I don't know why it took me to Amazon Prime first, Prime Video. And then I was like, oh, then it was like pay 10.99. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to pay 10.99 to watch this. So I pay the
Uh-huh.
10.99 which reminds me, I have to cancel it. I gotta because
Yes.
I don't watch anything on Peacock. So I had to cancel it. And once I got it, it was all set. How were you feeling going into this main event restaurant? Were you excited? Were you a little sad? Were you just ready to see what happened?
I was excited to see what would happen. To be honest with you, I didn't think too much of it or too much into it because I'm like, this can go either way, right? Win or loss. Yeah, restaurant. I didn't allow myself to think much
Mhm.
into it. I was like, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. I thought it was a good match, and I knew that Gunther was gonna give Cena a really, really good last match.
Hmm.
I guess earlier in the week, I think I was on Fightful for like the recap SmackDown show, and it was me and Cresta, and she was talking to me about like if I thought Cena would win or lose, and I think
Hmm.
we also talked about it too. And I was like,
Hmm.
I don't think he would win. I mean, it would be great if he won, but I guess it was just kinda like a flip in the air, like, I wasn't gonna be upset if he lost, and I wasn't gonna be upset if he won either way, but I thought
Hmm.
they put on a really, really great match, and John really gave the crowd what they wanted, is just to see him one more time, but, the end of the match, I did not think that it was gonna go down that way. I don't know, I thought, like, Gunther
Hmm.
would've just pinned
Yeah.
him clean,
Yeah.
and John Cena smiles at the camera, and he taps out. What was going
Hmm.
through your mind when that happened, Russ friend?
Which friend? I, to be honest with you, like in that very moment, like the only thing I can think about was like, okay, this man is gonna leave putting someone over. Like that's all. That's all I can think about, right? At
Mhm.
that moment, it was okay. He is putting Gunther over.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
So crazy. Like his last match, this legend that everyone, literally everyone, keeps talking about this weekend. Like that's what everyone keeps talking about.
Yeah.
Um, that it's his retirement match, it's his last match, and here he is smiling when he's in a submission by Gunther.
Russ friend and I had yelled at the TV right before Cena had tapped because Gunther was not letting up. He was
Yeah.
on him and I was like, "Bro, literally calm down. Like let him
Yeah.
go."
Yeah.
And the fact that Cena kind of just came to terms with it, to me it's all like very symbolic, right?
Yeah.
There's so many we'll talk about this in a little bit, but there's so many people on social media who are shitting on this. I, as a full-time John Cena lover and never a John Cena hater at any point in my life, think that, of course, John Cena was going to put someone over before he left, right? Because John Cena had nothing to gain
Mhm.
by winning this match. Gunther actually had everything to lose because you are building Gunther first of all, he retired Goldberg. Then you're trying to make him this bigger than life kind of character and
Mhm.
he hasn't really been able to find his footing. Now, as the man who also retired John Cena, this is who the story revolves around. Like, this
Yeah.
guy got rid of your childhood favorite and other people's childhood favorite in Goldberg. So
Yes.
I think they made the right choice. And Cena, I think, came to terms with it and was like, okay, this is how I see it, right? That
Uh-huh.
he came to terms with it and he was like, you know what? I put up a good fight. But this guy, the one in the ring right now, that's the one who's not giving up.
Mhm.
And I just got to call it. I'm happy with what I did. The night's been great and everybody's been saying stories. And this is how, this I'm tapping. People said that they would rather him pass out, but I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I guess if excuse me, I guess if we think about it in like a storyline way, it's like, yeah, why would he pass out? After all of these years of him being in this profession and like everything that he's gone through, everything he has put his body through, I feel like wouldn't John Cena know what he's doing, right?
Mhm.
That's how I see it. Like, why would have he allowed himself to uh like black out? Like, of course he was gonna tap out. Because I mean, what I was thinking too, like once the match finished and like everyone was like cheering for him and he finally decides to get up from the mat, you can tell he was having a little bit of a hard time there. So can
Yeah.
you imagine if he would have like just allowed himself to like black out, restaurant?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have seen John Cena get up after that.
And I think that tab was also him going on his own terms.
Right.
If technically he would have passed out, that's like his own body giving up on him. Then people would have been like, "Oh, John Cena's too old. He couldn't even, stick around for that hold." Like
Mm-hmm.
it was going to be a lose-lose situation as long as John Cena won. People wanted to see John Cena win, and I completely understand that. But when you put him in a match against Gunther, that was not going to be a good look against Gunther, because for the rest of Gunther's career, people were going to be like, well, you couldn't even retire John Cena, the Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky guy, like at his
Yeah,
age. That's what he was going to get bullied, TBH.
absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it could have. You're right, because John Cena could have won, and that people would have still found a way to like be upset about it.
mhm,
I was very curious to know how you felt about him losing because he is your favorite.
mhm.
I don't know how I would have felt if it was one of my favorites retirement match,
Yeah.
and
No,
I
no, I
I think.
definitely I gasped because I guess I didn't expect it to be so soon. I don't have a
Hmm.
problem with John Cena losing. I thought that was the
Okay,
right way to go.
okay,
But I guess the moment that he tapped, I was like, the match is over. I was like, this is it. Like, we're done. We're not getting a John Cena. Like, that's what was going through my head. More processing of
hmm,
like, that was really it. Like, the match is over. There's no more wrestling.
like this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like for you, that also ended there.
Yeah. Yeah. I also tapped her
Oh.
friend.
Oh.
So,
I
yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
not I'm not gonna lie to you, Rush friend. I do wish they could have made it a little bit more special because I think they could have made it more special. I just don't know what's going on in the WWE headquarters. Um, it felt like a regular pay-per-view. I know it's not a pay-per-view, right? But it
Mhm.
felt like a regular-ish show until everyone came out to give him his flowers. I do think that like the entrance was grand as well because the crowd made it so grand. It made it so special the way the crowd reacted when he came out for his last entrance. Um, but for me, I don't know if it's because I'm not a fan Russ fan or it's I don't know, but I mean not that I'm not a fan, but I'm not
Mhm.
like the biggest John Cena fan. But I do feel like it could have been a little bit more special.
What I did like was, I guess it felt very pay-per-view, and I know they always try with Saturday night's main event, so I guess they did
Hmm.
try a little bit more with this one.
Hmm.
But yeah, the John Cena video packages I thought were well done, but I guess two big people who were missing throughout the night for me, Randy Orton, who Randy was in
Hmm.
Saudi, and I want to get your thoughts on that.
Hmm.
And also the rated R superstar Edge. Those are
Hmm.
two people who really had such history with John, and they're not there.
Facts, yes.
What
I
what'd you think about
I
that? Yeah.
definitely agree with you on that because out of all the people that were around in that ring, or like Cody Rhodes and CM Punk coming in the ring, sure, I understand why they did that, right? They're the ones that are going to continue um, keeping the show on, I guess, right? But you're right. It's like Randy Orton, one of John Cena's biggest rivals, one of John Cena's fans' favorite is biggest rivals, right? I don't know if that made any sense, but um, we understand why Edge couldn't be there, but Randy Orton, it is crazy. It is crazy that he wasn't there, at least ringside when he started his match with like Kurt Angle and Kevin Owens and them. He could have been in there, right?
He could have been in there, and yeah, they did have a video package of Randy and Cena, and I was just like, and that also just kind of reminded me. I'm like, oh, Randy's not here, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Randy was doing some stuff in Saudi, like he was at the zoo feeding the tigers or whatever. I don't know what was going on.
Oh.
Other people said that he was also doing like some stuff with Mr. Beast, and I mean, sure, I guess,
Mm.
but you really couldn't have Randy Orton have made a little message or something, you know? Same thing with Edge. I totally get he's
Mm-hmm.
with a different
Yes.
company. And if you weren't going to ask him to be there that night, ask him to send a video in
Mm-hmm.
or just something, right? And at the same time, I completely like we don't know what's going like they didn't show it there, right? But Adam Copeland could have totally texted John in the morning. Like they're friends. He could have been like, "Hey,
Yeah.
bro, good luck, last
Yeah.
match." Same thing with Randy. I know Randy had posted something on social media that was like, "Oh, I had a conversation with John this morning, and I just talked to him about this last match." He posted it on social media because I guess he saw everybody was talking shit. Um, that they had their own private conversation, and I totally get that. But also, you could have sent anybody to Saudi, you
Honestly,
know?
exactly. I feel like they would be lying if they told you and me right now, best friend, like, oh no, we weren't expecting for like Randy Orton to be a part of this. Or like even and I I feel like people would be lying if they said they weren't expecting for this to be a little bit more special. They focus so much on it being his last run this past year, right? Like John Cena's last match, John Cena's last run, John Cena's last time in Chicago, John Cena's last time wrestling in Boston. But then here comes the retirement match, and we don't really get anything special. I think it was really nice that they had the old school setup, right, for Saturday Night Main Event. I think, like I said, the video packages and like the people that were ringside and everything, that was nice. But as wrestling fans who know so much about John Cena's past in WWE, like it could 100% have been way more special than what it was.
Yeah, restaurant when I was growing up, I remember just seeing all the pictures and little fan edits of John and Randy being besties and
Hmm.
how they'd be on the trampoline together. How how when John Cena was in movies, Randy would stand in like with his cutouts, and how they were just
Yes.
always
Mhm.
together, how they would play baseball together with all the rest of the guys. And they're just besties. To me, they're always going to be besties and always going to be friends.
Yeah.
And for Randy not to be there, that hit me. I was like, "That sucks." But
No, literally, what a miss.
what a
Like,
miss.
what a miss.
Exactly. I found the Randy Orton post. So this was on his Instagram, and he has like all the iconic pictures with John Cena. He's taking pictures with Randy's kids. Like Randy's kids have both of their action figures. Like it's crazy. But
Oh,
in the caption, he says, I broke into the wrestling business and grew up for the past 2 decades alongside John Cena. I wrestled with or against him 100 times at least. I would have enjoyed being there in DC for hashtag WWE, hashtag Saturday Night's Main Event. When it's a hashtag, friend, that shit just throws me off. Like, just say the goddamn word, put the hashtags in the end, and witness his emotional send off into retirement. But I know if anyone understands my absence, it's John, because I was in Saudi Arabia promoting the Royal Rumble. The morning of his retirement, we exchanged a few texts, and I was honored to speak to him on such a big day. I look forward to following John's career in Hollywood and beyond. Sky's the limit with this guy. An inspiration not only to generations of fans, but to myself, who was lucky enough to learn firsthand from one of the most over wrestlers ever. Thank you for being so good to my family over the years, and thanks for making the locker room a better place. Take care, John. I'll see you around. He put a little wave emoji and a heart emoji.
oh my God, why is this so emotional? That made me a little emotional.
Because they're besties, best friend. Like, they have such deep history. And even for him to be like, John understands. I
Exactly.
bet you John does understand because John is such a
Yes,
hustler. But I'm sure John would also be like, well, if he didn't have to go to Saudi, I would rather have Randy here.
for sure, 100%. Right after you read that part where he said, like, if anyone would understand, it's John, it's like 100%.
Hmm.
Like, hustle, loyalty, respect. That is literally
Yep,
John
that's the
Cena.
first one. The first one is the hustle. Yeah.
It's the hustle, exactly. But like, but you're right. I am so sure that also John Cena would have preferred for Randy to be right there.
Hmm.
I mean, who else? It's like retiring The Undertaker without Kane, which I know The Undertaker also has gone through his retirement and everything, but like it's crazy. It's so crazy. But That was
Yeah.
very sweet of Randy, and that made me emotional.
Oh, it's so cute. I love when people share their feelings. I think more people
Yes.
should do it. And also if their feelings of love, like if you really truly appreciate somebody, is to tell them. I think that's a very important thing to do.
Yes. And you know that Randy not only did that for him and John Cena, you know he did that for the fans. You know Randy wanted to give the fans that like aw moment.
Yeah, also
Um,
that closure of yes, I did talk to John. Don't worry about it, guys. It's
yes.
okay.
Like yes, it's also special to me, guys.
Yeah. He's like, he's my friend, guys, you know?
I'm the one that lived through this, guys.
You mentioned something earlier about kind of the build up and the preparation, the
Hmm.
farewell tour, right?
Hmm.
If you knew what day John Cena was going to retire, you could have booked the Royal Rumble PR another time. You knew he was going to
Absolutely.
retire at this time. You could have, one, sent Randy 2 weeks earlier to do that.
Hmm.
And two, you really could have sent anybody over. I'm
No,
thinking,
literally, they could have sent Randy over there the next day or like
exactly.
right after the fucking show. Okay, Randy, you're gonna get on a red eye to Saudi. Like, hello.
I hate it here. I hate it here. And
Me
also,
too.
just Edge. Like, are you kidding
I
me?
know.
When
I
I started
know.
watching wrestling, he was feuding with Edge. And mind you, I started watching wrestling at like the very beginning of John Cena's career, but like the Doctor Thugonomics no me agarró la atención. Like I was
Yeah.
not like I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then when the camo came out, I was like, all right, I'm vibing with the camo. Like
You're
what?
like, I'm into
I was
this.
like, this is the wrestler for me. And John Cena was not the first wrestler that I truly loved because I think that was I want to say it was Shawn Michaels because I thought Shawn Michaels was so cool. And he was just
Yeah.
one of the first people to pop up on when I started watching. And John Cena really in the PG era, that's when I grew up on him when he had
Hmm.
the spinner belt. I thought this
Hmm.
guy was so cool and I'm always going to think John Cena's cool, but he really gave me something to root for and he was the first wrestler that I truly truly loved as
Mm.
like I can how do I compare it to? I guess for me, and I'm gonna put it in music terms, that like I
Hmm.
never had an artist that I was gonna listen to their full album until John Cena. So I never had like a wrestler that I truly invested myself into before him.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess kind of like that.
Yeah.
And he had just really, what he I don't know what I'm trying to say, like the attitude, the mantra, the hustle, loyalty, and respect. I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
respect that. I think that's
Yeah.
such a good mission, and that's such a good like role model. And then they would do like the Christmas with the troops, and John Cena was also very very loved by the troops, and you just always heard things about him giving back. And I was like, this guy is great, and my love for John Cena like never wavered because I talked to Mario about this all the time. That Mario said, from Lucha Outsiders says that that he would boo John Cena, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't even think about that. Like,
You're like, I don't know what that's
I don't know
like.
what that's like, and for me to have never booed John Cena, to have always been behind him, no matter what he was doing. Do I agree with some of the people he stands by currently? Absolutely not. If he never
Yeah.
talked about Vince McMahon again, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah.
But that's his
Yeah.
relationship with him. That's something that I don't appreciate. But I mean, he's a grown man. He can figure things out for himself. But I'm glad
Right.
that he did open himself to the public in terms of Total Bellas and Total
Yeah.
Divas, because
Yeah.
that just gave me so much more insight on him. And I would watch. We talk about this a lot, friend. That when I was a kid, I would get up early to watch the YouTube love stories of WWE
Yeah.
wrestlers.
The fanfics on YouTube.
The fanfics on YouTube, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Go look up like WWE love story, and there would be seasons, rest friend. It's just people who would write. They would put a picture up on Maria and then put her lines in there, so you would like read it as Maria, and then she would go and talk to the women's locker room, and then oh my God, who's coming to pick you up? Oh well, Jeff Hardy's coming to pick me up. Like
Oh my god.
So good. But I basically like grew up with John Cena. So I watched his career from almost the very beginning to literally the end.
Yeah.
And having this year be his farewell tour and having this year for me also be one of the hardest years, like I feel like it definitely hit me. The match was good. I thought the match was fine. And then everybody starts coming out, and then CM Punk is all like lovey dovey with him. And you know how we feel about CM Punk. So I was like, get away from him. But it is what it is. And then Cody came out too. Cody and him put both of their titles on him. Which, first of all, I don't even know CM Punk was the champion. That's how long I haven't watched wrestling. When did that happen? Who did he beat for that? I literally, best friend, I had no idea what's going on. I was like, CM Punk? When did literally? I was so confused, best friend.
Oh my god. Oh, I don't remember who he took the belt from, but I do remember him winning. And I was like, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sure, I guess.
Yes,
That was
exactly.
so strange to me.
No, literally, exactly. Because to me, it's like, oh, I know Cody's the champ. Like, okay.
Yeah. Did he take it from Roman? Was Roman I don't know what's going I have to
No,
Google
it
this.
wasn't Roman. Hang on, Sergio, who did CM Punk take the belt from? Who did CM Punk take the belt from recently? How did he become champ? I don't think he remembers either.
If Sergio doesn't know, mm-mm.
I know.
Oh my God. That's
but
crazy.
but no, rest friend, yes, like CM Punk and Cody coming out for me is like I understand why,
Yes.
but I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think at that moment I realized that who I wanted to see was Randy or Edge or like someone like Randy or Edge. I don't
Yes.
think at that moment I thought about it that way, rest friend. At that moment I was like, oh, I guess.
No shade to Cody.
Exactly, no
All the
shit to
shade
Cody.
to CM Punk. But
We'll throw all this shade to CM
I
Punk.
get it that yes, they're the current champions, but would it have been more impactful if you brought back like the spinner belt and Randy Orton with it
Mhm.
and then put that
Mhm.
title on him, or even all the other titles he's ever won and Edge come and put those titles on him? AJ Styles even in that ring too. I don't
Mhm.
know.
I
There's some things that I would have tweaked, you know?
absolutely, restaurant. Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure, especially as like his fan, like I'm sure you expected more. I can hear from you that you are grateful for what you were given,
Hmm.
and I think it's because of your love for John Cena.
Hmm.
But I'm sure as a fan you would have expected more. I mean, you already talked about it. You did expect Randy Orton. You expected something a little bit more emotional.
I was ready for the confetti. There was no confetti
No
cannons.
confetti.
There was no mariachi. And I just wish that they had gone a little bit more grand, you know? I'm sure he would have
Yeah.
appreciated a mariachi restaurant. We would have taken one more for him.
You know what? Absolutely. Yes, we would have. We would have spent all our money on getting him a mariachi.
Just for 30 minutes because we don't have the budget. But at least a little bit would have been fine. And then so they're in there and the video package starts playing and you hear the immediate voiceover of John and restaurant. That's when I started to cry because I don't know if it took me that long to process, but I was like, oh my God, like this is really it. And I was like, we're just going through everything that John Cena has lived. And they started,
Yeah.
to show the fans and stuff. And I was like, this guy was really it's so weird to explain because I feel like he was really there for me, but
Yeah.
like he was never near me. You get me?
No, absolutely. Restaurant, of
It
course.
just felt like I could or like if I was sad or if I was like going through something, I'd be like, oh, well, you know what? John Cena, he's always like, again, never give up, which was why some people were upset on social media, but we will get to that. Um, but I was literally crying for like half an hour restaurant. I hit like a spot where I was like, damn, John Cena's really done. And then I just got filled with some sadness. And I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain it. But I do want to talk about he was just like something that I looked forward to because I remember in like 2018 I got shingles and I was like really so if people who don't know who shingles is, it's like something in the nerves and your immune system that kind of just freaks your body out and it causes a reaction. So for me, I had like it was kind of like a huge rash. And
Mhm.
that like huge rash affected like your nerves. So I had it on my right side. And to this day, like on some parts of my like collarbone, if I touch it, like I can't feel it because it like damaged my nerves. And it was so, so painful. Like I couldn't even sleep. And
Mm.
I remember I was healing at that time, and they had announced that John Cena was going to be at the United Center, and I was like, "There's no way I'm not going to the United Center to see John Cena." He was fighting Brock Lesnar, which we don't care for Brock Lesnar, but I was like, "I'm so excited! I want to see John Cena." And mom was like, "Mika, I don't know. I don't think if it's good. Like you're still recovering." And mind you, like the shingles was like already coming back or like receding, I guess. It was
Mhm.
like towards the end. And I just
Mhm.
remember I was like, I was in so much pain this week, but like what I was so excited for was to see John Cena. And I did get to go and see John Cena at the show. And I was like, anytime that I got the chance to see him, like I was able to do so. I saw him at 2 WrestleManias. I thought it was only one WrestleMania. I saw him at two. So I'm really grateful for the hope that John Cena has given me, and that's something that
Mhm.
people can't take away from me. So everybody else can fuck off.
Exactly, best friend. Fuck that. Who gives a shit? Like you said, it's something that you have been feeling since you were so small. That is the one person that, like the one we all have. I feel like all wrestling fans have that one wrestler, that one legend that we can say we felt like they were there for us, even though they really weren't physically there for us, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like exactly like you said, I would have said the exact same thing. No one can take that away from you.
And I made a post on social media that was also along the lines of like, since John is my favorite, like he really is the guy that got me into wrestling, and he's the reason that I still watch wrestling to this day. So without wrestling, I wouldn't have a podcast with you.
Mhm.
We wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I wouldn't have the friends that I do because of professional wrestling. So it's like
Mhm.
technically like John Cena has given me so much, like a media career in wrestling. That's so
Mhm.
crazy. I would have never had the passion for it if I didn't stick around to watch him. So that butterfly effect goes crazy, restaurant.
No, it's so crazy. That is insane. When you put it that way, that is absolutely insane because you're right. You literally just told us that the reason why you kept tuning into WWE was because John Cena. And you're right. Now we're here
And now
because
we're
of
here,
that.
restaurant. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so insane to
And
say.
like, what other way to end the Rest Friends podcast this season than to talk about what started it all for us?
Yes. Ugh. Emotions, restaurant. Emotions.
Literally.
Now I want to talk about conspiracy theories. So everybody and their mamas is online giving their opinions of like, I don't think John Cena should have tapped out. How are you going to tell me his mantras never give up and he gave up? I don't see it as him giving up. He literally, yes, he tapped out, right? But he
Hmm.
went on his own terms. Sometimes you got to realize that that's when you got to go. And to me, it was kind of more a poetic ending and it made sense. But everybody
Right.
on social media, now there's this conspiracy theory that's going around that that's not how the ending was supposed to go. That John Cena looking
Oh.
at the camera and tapping, that was a direct message to the people who were backstage, like controlling the cameras. And even Gunther asking, "Oh, wait, he tapped? Like I won?" People are
Hmm.
taking that confusion as like, "Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen." And somebody said that CM Punk and Bailey was she missed the ending because she was like looking around doing something, and then CM Punk was like, "Yeah, yeah, he tapped, like he had the tap."
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then people booing Triple H and people yelling all these things at Triple H. People are saying that John kind of went against Triple H and against what the WWE machine is doing right now. And maybe John was supposed to win, but in that moment, John was like, I got it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tap right now and kind of destroy the vision that you've built. So
Hmm.
that's just a conspiracy theory that's going around. I don't remember who on TikTok posted it, but everybody in the comments is agreeing. And I'm like, all right, guys, I don't think it's that deep,
Yeah.
but it's the internet, and then people feel very
Right.
strongly about the fact that he tapped. They think he should have won. But then again, I bring up, I mean, if Gunther pinned him clean, then you guys would have thought John Cena was washed out either way. So I don't know. You can't win.
No, you really can't.
Ugh.
You really cannot, especially not in this industry, not in this community.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, whether if it did go that way, if he did go against what was supposed to actually happen, that is very cool, right?
Mhm.
I think the way they were able to capture that moment of him smiling into the camera, I think that was really cool. I honestly think that's really cool. Now we got a really cool meme going around the internet, first of all. But at the same time, I don't know, would John Cena have gone against what they told him to do? That's I wish I could think about it as like I would ask John Cena someday, but knowing John Cena,
Restaurant,
I don't know if he would tell me the truth.
he might show up to C2E2. I know he's starting to do Comic Cons. As soon as they announced his retirement,
Right.
the next day they were like, "Oh, he's gonna be at this Comic Con," and I was like, "Oh, is he coming back?" Because I would meet him again. Because last time it was during the pandemic and there was a plastic wall.
Mm,
So
right.
yeah,
Oh, restaurant. Well, let's hope
we
let's
should
hope we get to see him in C2E2.
we shall see. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up in 2026. Can you believe that, restaurant? Ya pasó todo un año.
No, I cannot. This
And
year flew
if it
by.
really flew by, we've done so much. And I want to thank our listeners because you guys have always been super just amazing, and you always contribute to our streams. You always talk to us. You let us know what you're thinking. You share our pods. You like our content, and we don't take that lightly. When we first started off, we didn't know where Restaurants was going to go, and with every year that passes, it honestly gets better. So thank you guys so
Yes.
much for listening to us. Restaurant, what do you have to say to our listeners?
No, I feel exactly the same way. Thank you to everybody that always tunes in. Whether you expect something from us or not, like I appreciate every single time that people get on like during our live streams and they comment, or
Mhm.
people that listen to our podcast after the fact, people that watch our videos after the fact, people that follow us on social media, just anybody that shows us like the smallest amount of support or love, I appreciate it no matter what. I think that one of the reasons why I want to continue doing this, besides wanting to continue doing with you, Friend, is because we have our little community of people that really believe in us and like to listen to our opinions in wrestling. Like that's crazy.
It truly means a lot, guys. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. We love you so much, and we will see you first things first in 2026.
Yes, hopefully sooner rather than later.